my name is Jolina and I'm from Germany, and I'm gonna do this video about my Justin Bieber concert experience. First of all, I have to say that I didn't meet Justin and I didn't meet any of his crew members, but it was still the best day of my life. Well, I attended 2 concerts, so these were the best days of my life because it just meant the world to me to finally see Justin in person. I'm a huge believer, and it really meant a lot to me. So yeah, in this video I'm just gonna talk about the days where I attended the concert, what happened to me, and what happened at the concerts, and what I did before and after and during the concert, and what I felt and what I thought and stuff. Just these kind of things, and I hope you enjoy it. It's gonna be long, I guess. So yeah. So the first concert I went to was in the beginning of April, and I woke up that morning and I had counted down since 225 days actually, and it was the last day where I could rip my countdown off, and it was actually a weird feeling not to have anything hanging in my room anymore, because I had this huge countdown that I used to rip off every day, and it was just a weird feeling. And yeah, I don't even know how to start this. I woke up and the night before I cried a lot because I realized that I'm gonna see my baby tomorrow, and I woke up and it just felt like just another day. I didn't really I thought, oh my god, I'm gonna see Justin Bieber today, but it didn't really come to my mind. I didn't really realize it. I got ready and I woke up at 9:30, I think, and I got ready. I had seats, so I didn't have golden circle or diamond circle or anything. I just had seat tickets, so I didn't have to be there that early, but I wanted to be early for sure because I wanted to like meet some believers and stuff. And at 1:30, I called my friend and I asked her if she's ready to go. My friend came with me. She's not a believer. She's a fan though. She really loves Justin, but she's not a believer. But I called her and she was like, "Oh, I don't know if I can be ready on time," because she was on holiday or something and she just came back. And I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna leave without you if you're not ready on time. But my dad came home from work at 2 p.m. and I made letters that said off to see Justin Bieber and put them in the car. And we left, and my friend called that she was ready on time. So we picked her up and I was Bieber blasting Believe in the car. And I cried the whole way to the concert. Like, when I got ready in the morning, I didn't really realize it, but when I sat in the car and I knew I was on my way to see Justin, that was just an incredible feeling. And I listened to Believe, and I was crying the whole way to the concert. And when we came to the arena, me and my friend, we were going out of the car, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. She was like, yeah, it's so surreal. And we were walking around the arena, and there were believers everywhere, believers that were sitting there since like 3 a.m. and stuff. They had blankets all over them, and there was a merch shop where you could buy stuff. I bought the Swaggy shirt, you guys know it if you're believers. There was an makeup bus where you could get makeup on, but I didn't do that. And there was a screaming competition that we were watching because you could win tickets. We had tickets, so we didn't so we didn't do it, but it was very fun to see it, because there were also like 5-year-old girls screaming, and it was so cute. I took a picture with a cardboard of Justin, which was stolen later on by some other believers. I was so jealous. I thought, why didn't I steal it? But yeah, and then I wrote on Twitter. I tweeted a friend of mine who I just met on the internet a few days ago, and I tweeted her, hey, where are you? And she was like, I'm at the shop from the tool merch. And I was like, oh my god, me too. And then I looked around and I didn't see her, and I told my friend, look for a girl with blonde curls and stuff. And my friend was like, look at that girl, is it her? And I saw her and I was like, oh my god, yes. She's called Svenja. And I ran up to her and I was like, Svenja. She turned around. She was very confused. She was like, oh my god, I didn't think you would be so small. And I was like, oh my god, I get that a lot. And she was so nice. She was there with her friend and both were so nice. And Svenja is watching this video because she kind of told me to upload this. Well, to make it and upload it. And if you watch this, Svenja, I love you. And yeah, we were basically just talking and having fun until the concert started. She became such an amazing friend of mine. I love her. And she's stunning, by the way. And yeah, we were listening to the Beauty and the Beat Indian Fail cover that Fredo tweeted a few days before the concert, and we were laughing so much about it. And we were looking for toilets, to be honest, and when we came back we saw it was 5 p.m. and we saw people entering the arena, and we were like, oh my god, they're already going in, everything starts. And so we went to the line and we saw how long it was, and we were actually devastated. My friend was complaining because she was like, oh my god, we won't go up until the very end. But we had to, because there was security everywhere and they would see if we just, sneaked in earlier. And we had to go all the way around the arena and down some stairs and along a road for like 400 meters or something. And I was devastated. I was like, we won't be getting in on time. We were devastated at first, but then it went all very fast. We were inside the arena in like half an hour. We thought it would take more than 2 hours or something, but it just took like half an hour. We were getting in, and I had my photo camera in my bra actually. Because it wasn't allowed to take it in, which is so stupid, I think, to not allow cameras on a concert. But I took it in. I didn't use my fake meet and greet passes. I was too scared, to be honest, and I didn't even see where the M&G line was or where it all happened. So they didn't look in my bag, and I came in. And me and my friend, we were waiting for Svenja and her friend, and they were coming in. I was like, oh my god, we're really here. And we were walking around inside. We were going to the toilets because we hadn't found any before. And yeah, I was fixing my hair and everything, and then we actually had to go to different sides of the arena, so we said goodbye and see you after the concert. And me and my friend, we were walking to our seat area, and I was running to the door. I couldn't wait. I was running, and I opened the door, and I started to shake very bad because I opened it and I was like, oh my god. And my friend was coming and she was like, wow. we were starstruck. We were standing there and we were looking at the whole arena and the atmosphere, and it was crazy. Well, the atmosphere wasn't crazy yet because there weren't many people in there at that time, but it just really it was breathtaking. I was standing there, I was speechless, and my friend was leading us to our seats. She found them and she was like, "Here, that's our seats. Come on." And I was like, "Oh my god, we're so close," and we really were. We were so close that if Justin was standing on the stage and he looked into our direction, he would actually see us, and it was really amazing. We were sitting down and I was just very excited. My heart was pounding. We were sitting down and talking and everything. After a while, the band, the Neon Dogs, came on stage and they played. We were just sitting there and talking. We didn't really care about them. But then they were gone, and I was like, "Oh my god, they're gone. Justin is gonna be here in a few minutes." Which wasn't true, but I believed that in that moment. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna see Justin in a few minutes for the first time." Yeah, and then we sat there and we were waiting and waiting and waiting. We were waiting 2.5 hours until he came up on stage, and these 2.5 hours were terrible because we didn't get any information about what is happening. So we were sitting there, and after like 1 hour, some girls in the back of my area started booing, and I was devastated. They were booing, and a girl in front of me was screaming, "Fuck you." Sorry. And the girl next to me, she was like, "Oh, this, I can't even say the words they said because it was so rude." And I was sitting there, and I felt so ashamed to be there when there were people booing. I mean, Justin wasn't even on stage, but I thought if he came on stage and they were booing, I would be so ashamed. That would be so terrible. And I sat there, and after like 2 hours, I actually had the feeling he wouldn't come anymore, because some people said if he came this time, he was only allowed to play like 15 minutes, which wasn't worth it, so he wouldn't come on stage anymore. And I was sitting there, I had my hair up here, I was sitting there like this for over an hour crying, and everyone around me, they were booing and insulting him and stuff, and he just didn't come, and I it hurts to say that, but I really felt like he didn't love us anymore, like he didn't really care about us, like he would even hate us. I swear it's not true, and I'm so ashamed that I thought it, that at that time Justin adores us and he would do anything to make us happy. But in that moment, when you're sitting there for 2 freaking hours and everyone is booing and insulting him and you're crying because you don't know if this is gonna be the worst day of your life, because I've been waiting for that day since hundreds of days, and if he didn't come on stage, then that would be the worst nightmare ever. And I was sitting there, I was crying and stuff, and after 2.5 hours, there suddenly came the loud boom, and the countdown started on the screen. But from our seats, we couldn't see the screen, so I didn't know what was going on. But when the boom came, my head was telling me something is happening, so I jumped up, I screamed, tears were streaming down my face, I laughed, actually, and I didn't really control my body in that second. It happened in 1 second that I jumped up and screamed and everything. The woman that was sitting next to me, she was really pissed. Oh, sorry, but she was really angry. And she was just basically sitting around. She was like, "I think I'm gonna leave this I don't want to be here anymore. But in that moment I felt so happy because I felt like something is actually happening. And I started to feel dizzy, and my legs were very shaky, and my knees were weak, so I fell to the front. Well, I was sitting there, and I was like, oh my god, everything was so weird, I can't even remember it. But I fell to the front, and I didn't fall down. I held myself. I held me. I held onto the seat that was in front of me, and I was like, oh my god. And I leaned back, and I was like, okay, you're not allowed to fall down because you're gonna miss the whole concert, and this is gonna be the worst day of your life if you're gonna fall down now, so don't fall, please. And I was focusing on not feeling dizzy. Yeah, and then a girl from my area walked away and came back, and she was like, the countdown says 5.5 minutes or something. And I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna see my baby in 5 minutes. That was an incredible feeling. And I filmed it, and everything that I hear on the video is me crying, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. And it really is terrible, that video, and I'm not gonna show it to anyone ever because it's really terrible. Yeah, so wow, what happened next? When it came to like 10 seconds, I didn't even realize that because I didn't see it. But you believers, you all know that when it comes to 10 seconds, the countdown, sorry, the countdown moves. It starts to move from when this is the screen, and it's here. Then it moves up here when it comes to 10 seconds, and we couldn't see all this. We could only see like a tiny bit of this, and it went up here, and I saw it at like 4 seconds, and I was like, oh my god. It was literally such an amazing feeling. And then it went to 0, and everyone was screaming. No one was booing anymore, and I felt so happy, and everyone felt happy except for the lady next to me. She was really angry all the time. She even left before it ended. I couldn't understand it. But whatever, I didn't want her to like keep my mood down or anything. This was my day, the first time I would see Justin. And yeah, the countdown was ended, and there were those videos coming up on the screens which we couldn't see. We couldn't see them at all. And I didn't really realize there were videos playing. I was just standing there, and I was freaking out and everything. There were fireworks everywhere and stuff, and I could see people coming on stage, like the dancers and everything. And I saw Dan Cantor, and he was standing kind of in front of us all the time. We were on the side of the stage, and he was standing on the side of the stage, and he was there the whole concert, so I could always see him. It was cool. Yeah, it started, and then suddenly my friend was like, the screens are opening. And I never cried harder before in my life. It was an overwhelming feeling. I could see him. He was coming out, and he was flying down, and those few seconds from where I saw him, for the very first time in my entire life, the boy that changed my life and that meant the whole world to me, it was really overwhelming. It was incredible. I can't even describe that feeling that I had. I was shaking, and my heart was pounding, and Oh my god, I'm going to cry if I keep talking like this, but it really was so, it was just unbelievable to know um, that this is the boy that I talk about every day, and I finally get to see him. This was the moment where I saw him for the first time ever in my entire life, and I'm gonna look back to this moment for my entire life. That was really, really beautiful. It was the best the first few seconds where I saw him, that were the best seconds of my life. Because, I don't know, it just, if you're watching this and you're not a believer, you won't understand this at all. You will think it's just a concert, but it's not for me. I didn't go there because of seeing him perform. I was there because of him. He could sit there 2 hours on a chair and don't move, and I would still love it the same, you know? Yeah. He was coming down with the wings of those angel wings, you know? He was coming down, and the dancers took him off. And that was when he was shouting, "Let's go. Are you ready to believe?" And those 2 words, "let's go," those were the first words I had ever heard him say in the, you know what I mean? It was the first time ever that I heard him talk in real life, not only, you know, on videos and stuff. So that was amazing. And he was like, "Are you ready to believe?" And then he started to play All Around the World, and I tried to film it, but it didn't really work. I was shaking so hard, and I was crying, and I kept screaming, "Justin," and "oh my god," and yeah, we were just dancing and partying, and it was amazing to sing along with him and see him perform. He's so beautiful. And he played Take You and Catching Feelings, and then he was drinking some water, and he was talking to us, like he said, who owns my album Believe and stuff. Just this talk that he actually always does in every show, but it was amazing to actually see him do it in, you know, live, in real life. Yeah, it was a lot happening during the concerts. It was just an incredible feeling, and I didn't stop crying for a second. And he was getting scrappy on stage as well, and I saw Dan Cantor doing the robot dance, and we were sitting at the side so we could see the One Less Lonely Girl from being backstage and waiting to be able to go on stage, which was super cool. And then it was actually really amazing because Dan was standing there, he was playing his guitar, and he was looking into a direction when lights were on us. Well, the lights weren't on us, it was just not that dark at that moment in our area, and me and my friend, we were like basically the only ones dancing and standing there and really partying, and we were jumping up and down, and I was waving to him, and I was screaming his name, and I was like, Dan, and stuff, you know. And he saw it, and he nodded at us. He was like, and I was freaking out because, I mean, Dan saw us. He saw how happy I was, and he decided to show me he saw it. That was, wow. That was the first time ever that I had kind of like, you know, contact to one of the crew members. And yeah, that was pretty amazing. and the whole concert was just super cool, and it was the best day of my life. We had perfect seats. Everything went perfect. It was everything that I thought in those 2.5 hours before it started. It was just everything was forgotten, you know. It was really indescribable. It was overwhelming to see him, and yeah, he played all the songs he usually does. He sang Rack City Chic and You Got It Bad. I freaked out because I love when he sings You Got It Bad. I made a photo book and with pictures that I took, and at the second concert I was set with front view, and this is one of the pictures that I took, and my pictures turned out really amazing. This is from the second concert as well. This is how we saw him. It was really amazing. The pictures I took, they're stunning. They're really, really cool. I love this book, by the way. And yeah, it was just the best day of my life. I really have to say that. And I'm not just, saying oh, now this is the best day of my life, and now this is the best day of my life. I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. I love Justin, and seeing him for the first time, the feeling I had when I saw him for the very first time in my life, I won't ever forget that feeling, because I never had that before. It was the very first time that I had a feeling like that, and that was actually incredible. So yeah, when the concert was over and he was gone, I wasn't sad at all that he was gone, because my second concert was just the day after it, so I had something to look forward to. And the concert ended at like 12 at midnight, because he was so late. It actually should have ended at 9 p.m, but it ended at midnight, which is weird, but it ended, and I was sitting down. No, I wasn't sitting down, was I? No, I wasn't. I was just packing my stuff, and I had tears streaming down my face. I was so done. I bought the official tour poster, and everyone was looking at me because I was crying so hard. There were so many people that weren't crying at all, but it meant the whole world to me. This night was amazing. So yeah, we went outside, and there were a lot of people who were selling t-shirts as well, and they were like 10 euros t-shirt, 5 euros t-shirt. I was hesitating about a 5 euro t-shirt. I have no idea why I did that. My friend was like, why don't you want to buy it? It's just 5 euros. Like, you will never get this offer ever again in your life. I was like, oh, I'm not sure. And now I think, why was I so dumb? I mean, I bought it in the end, but just thinking and hesitating, I really don't know. I was just, in that moment, I was mentally still in the arena. I was mentally still with Justin. I mean, I spent the night together with Justin, I was so done and I couldn't think clearly. So I even hesitated about 5 freaking euros. And if you're wondering if you have dollars or anything, and you're wondering how much is 5 euros, it's basically just like 5 pounds or $5. It's really not much money at all. It's just... Sorry, I'm just gonna stop talking about this shirt, but it was so weird. And my parents were picking us up, and my friend was sleeping at my house. And they were picking us up, and I was talking to them, and I was telling them everything. I couldn't stop talking. I was sitting in the car. I was still shaking, and I was still overwhelmed by everything. And I talked to them, and I started crying so badly. And they never saw me crying about Justin like this before. like, I'm a fangirl. I cry about Justin. I do cry about him a lot, but they usually never see it, so it was the first time that they saw me cry over Justin, and it was very much crying, so they were very shocked. My mom was laughing at me. They don't understand this at all. They think it's just a cute teenage crush obsession, you know that. But yeah, it meant the whole world to me, just, yeah. I was up till 2 a.m. My friend had already went to bed when we came home, but I was looking at pictures and stuff for over an hour, and I was writing everything down so I don't forget anything. I didn't see Svenja after the concert, and we didn't take any pictures together or anything, but we're still in contact. We're still in contact though. We're talking all the time on the phone and stuff. And yeah. So the next morning we woke up and I couldn't eat or anything. I didn't realize it again when I woke up. I didn't even realize I just saw Justin last night. But I was excited, but not in the way that I realized it. My heart was pounding and I was shaking a little. I was nervous, and my mind was everywhere, but at the moment that I was in everywhere, but in my current situation. And we left, and we were going by train, and I had my merch on and everything. I wore a Justin shirt because I had bought a whole outfit for the first concert, and I wore merch on the second one, and I had my shirt on, and there was a lady, she was like, "Oh, are you going to see Justin Bieber?" I was like, "Yeah." And when we got there, it was in Cologne in Germany, and when we got there, we were walking to the arena, and there were already Beliebers in front of us and behind us, and we didn't walk around the arena this time. We walked straight up to our line. We were like, to the security, we were like, yeah, we have seats. Where do we have to stand in line? And they were like, "Oh, right here." And we were like 15th or 20th or something in the queue, and we were like, "Oh my god, we're so lucky." Why are we so... Wait, we weren't even early. We were there 1.5 hours before it opened. And we were standing there and we were freezing, but it was okay. And then suddenly they were like, "We opened the doors, now you can come in." And we were like, "What?" Because it should have opened at 5 p.m. and it was 4:30. So we were a little bit confused. But we walked in, and we were one of the first ones that got in, which was super cool. And we were walking around, looking at tour merch again, and looking at what they had for food and everything. I couldn't eat, but we were just looking. And oh, I forgot to tell you, we came in. Sorry, we came in. And they were looking at our tickets, and they were like, "Oh, you're area 714. You can go there and change your tickets." I was like, "What?" She was like, "You had 714. You're getting 210." I was like, "Oh my god, thank you!" It was so amazing because it was front view as well, but it wasn't at the top and the back. It was right behind Golden Circle, so right behind the people who were standing. It was like 4 rows behind them, which was super amazing. I was so thankful. The lady was like, "Here you go, your tickets." And I was like, "Oh my god, thank you." She was so bored and I was so excited. It was really strange. Well, yeah, we were walking around and we were entering the arena, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's so amazing. I was starstruck again. It was amazing, and this time we could see all the screens, so it was a totally different thing to see, because we couldn't see any of the screens in the night before, and this time we saw everything perfectly, and we came in and there was the huge Believe key, and it was just amazing. We were going to our seats, we were looking at them, we were like, oh my god, that's so amazing, and we were walking out again, walking around, and I was calling my friend on the phone. We were talking for half an hour, and I told her everything about the concert that was that I had already attended, and everything about the tickets that are new tickets and everything, and she was so happy for me, which was cute. Caroline, I love you. Marilla, I love you too. Marilla is the girl who came with me to the concerts, and Caroline is my other friend who stayed home and talked to me on the phone. Well, I love my friends. We went back to our seats, and I was still on the phone with Caroline, and I heard that the two girls who were sitting on my left were talking to two girls that were sitting behind me. And I was so interested in what they were saying, because they were talking about Justin drama and everything. And then I said to my friend, yeah, I have to say goodbye now. I hung up, and I talked with them about all the drama and everything. We talked about everything and anything, and I made friends with the girls who were sitting next to us. If you're seeing this, Mareike and Gina, I love you too. And yeah, they were so cool. We were talking all the time when we were sitting there. We were exchanging numbers and showing us our outfits and everything. It was so cool. And yeah, we were sitting there, and we were talking, and suddenly there came the boom, and I was so confused, and I don't know, it was so weird, because I had thought that we would have to wait for another hour or another 2 hours, but he was punctual, he was there on time, so it was really weird. And I was standing up at when it was 9 minutes, because I was so confused for this minute. I don't know. I stood up. The girl behind me was crying hard. She was crying as hard as I was crying the night before. And I loved to see that. And she was only 9 years old or something. It was super cute. And yeah, every time the countdown came to another minute, so at 9 minutes, at 8 minutes and stuff, everyone was screaming loud. When it came to 1 minute, everyone was screaming through the whole thing. And this 10 minutes countdown was actually, it felt like it was only 1 minute or a half minute, 30 seconds or something. It went so fast on both concerts. And then the screens went on, and we saw it actually, and there was this black man who always says, ladies and gentlemen, you are entering another world with endless possibilities and stuff like that. Let your imagination skyrocket, your dreams be remixed, and most importantly, believe. Stuff like that. I don't even know what he was saying, but I read it afterwards on Twitter, and it was so cool. I love what he says. If you don't know what he says, just look it up. It's super cool. So yeah, Justin came on stage. I could take stunning pictures. It was overwhelming to see him again, to spend another night with him. I was so thankful. And it was just as amazing as the concert before. We could see everything better. That was amazing. I didn't feel the same in the beginning, because it wasn't the first time that I saw Justin, but it was still overwhelming, and I still cried through the whole concert. I couldn't stop crying. And it was so cute. At Beauty and the Beat, he was shaking his butt. Sorry. But he did. It was so cute. And a bra landed on him, so he took it and put it over his shoulder and walked around with it. And he was doing his safety joke when he's like, I'm gonna put my safety belt on, and he's lifting his shirt and everyone's screaming, and he's like, you guys seem to like safety. Oh my god, it was so beautiful. Just, I fangirl about every single concert every day, and I hear about what happened at the concerts the day before every freaking day, and finally being a part of what you talk about, it's incredible. But I learned that I really shouldn't believe everything, because I was reading tweets after my first concert, and it was saying they were booing on Justin and Justin would have cried on stage, which was not true. There were people booing, like I said, but it was not when Justin was on stage, and Justin didn't even notice that, and he wasn't crying at all. I don't know who tells stuff like that, but yeah. So the second concert was amazing as well, and I took amazing pictures and everything. Just look at my photo book. It turned out so amazing. It's just, I'm always gonna be a believer. I wrote something for him on the last page. I'm gonna read it to you because I want you to know what it says. I know that you're scared sometimes about losing believers, but I made a promise. I will stay and I will support you, no matter what happens. I will be there for you because you were always there for me when I needed it the most, and I cannot thank you enough. Even if you don't know it yet, you are my reason to smile, and I love you. You changed my whole life and you mean the world to me. I'm your believer and I will always be by your side. Seeing you was the most overwhelming feeling I've ever had in my life, and I met so many amazing people because of you. You showed me what it means to believe and to dream. You showed me life. Thank you, Justin. So that is actually one of the things that I would have. Well, I haven't met Justin yet. I'm so scared that I will never meet him, because that is actually my life goal, to meet him, because he's the person who influences me every single day and who can make me happy when no one else can. But I don't want to sound cheesy now. I just want to say that these concerts were amazing. When it was over, I was crying hard again, and I was sitting down, and the girls next to me, Mareike and Gina, they were hugging me. They were like, don't cry. It was so cute. And they had to leave then. And I left too with my friend. And there was a girl standing behind me that I knew from Twitter. And I was like, Alina? And she was like, oh my god. I was so happy she recognized me. And I was like, hi. And we were talking about how amazing it was shortly. And then I went to my friend and we walked out and we went to McDonald's afterwards. It was full of believers, and As Long As You Love Me was playing. And some people were laughing at me because I was devastated, because it was, well, the moment when I saw Justin for the last time was terrible, because Baby had finished and he was going down this thing, and I was crying so hard because I knew I wasn't gonna see Justin for years now, and he's gone now. He's not with me anymore. And the girl next to me, she was like, is he coming back? I was like, no. And that was terrible. Well, we sat at McDonald's, and my friend, she bought me an Oreo ice cream McFlurry thing. I love her for that. But she was getting it for me, and it took a long time because there were so many people. And some people who weren't believers, they were kind of laughing at me, but I didn't really care. I saw my idol. I mean, that was pretty amazing. And I was crying, and yeah, I wore mascara that was waterproof, so my makeup wasn't all over my face, but I was crying hard. And I was tweeting and everything, and it was just overwhelming. I also bought a Fetus Justin poster book where I'm writing down my Bieber experiences. Well, I didn't have a Bieber experience yet where I met Justin, but I'm writing down everything that happens to me that relates to Justin. That night I stayed up until 5 a.m. to look at photos and edit videos and make a photo book. When I wrote this down, I cried. These nights meant everything to me. I saw Justin live. I spent the same moments with him. We shared that experience. It still feels surreal, but it was real. I love him so damn much, and no matter what happens, I'll always be by his side, and that's a promise. I wish I could go back to those days. Those days are now 3 weeks ago, and I have post-concert depression so badly sometimes. I wish I could go just back to those days. I felt things I didn't know they existed, and I met amazing people. I saw Justin for the first time, and that felt incredible. The time was overwhelming, and I can't express how thankful and glad I am to be able to have these memories. No one can take this away from me ever. I will still tell my grandchildren about this. I'm a fangirl. We don't do calm. Justin, thank you for making those nights so incredibly beautiful, and I had the time of my life spending time with you. You made these days flawless, and I can't thank you enough for making my life worth living. I am thanking you from the bottom of my heart for being such an amazing role model and person and giving me reasons to smile every day. You made this experience breathtaking, and I love you more than anything. I just wish you knew. Justin taught me to believe in my dreams. He inspired me to never give up. He showed me what life was about and what it means to fight. He makes me smile when no one else can. He's always there for me, even if he doesn't know it. And the only way I can thank him for everything is that I will always support him, because he's my life. I'm a proud believer. He's my idol, my world, and my hero. Yeah. Well, these nights really meant freaking much to me. To all the girls that I met at the concert, Svenja, Mareike, Gina, Dylan, Alina, they all rhyme. That's weird. But I love you! And I hope I'm gonna see you again someday. I know that Svenja is gonna watch this video. Svenja, I love you. And I can't believe to watch Believe 3D with you when it comes out. I'm gonna cry my eyes out. I'm really gonna do that because of all the memories coming back. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to say. I love Justin. I will always be there for him. And I hope that one day I'll have a Bieber experience where I actually meet him, because that's my life goal, and I cry every day at meet and greet pictures. Yeah, that's my life. So yeah, I don't really know how to end this video now, because it's just awkward right now. I took this picture, isn't this amazing? I think it looks like a pro picture. These were the bracelets that I wore at the concert. The official tour poster, and it has my tickets, the things that we held to the top, the after concert party flyers that we brochures that we couldn't attend because it was so late, but they're cool. I mean, look at Tay James. And this is actually my street team bracelet that I wore, and a Believe tour sign, and this is a newspaper article. I made this with pictures. This was where we were sitting, and there is the stage, and there are we. There's us, I mean. Hope you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up. Tweet me about your Bieber experiences, about your concert experience. Tweet me or comment if you still have a concert to look forward to. And yeah, bye.